Yo, what is up, you guys? So today I am back with a follow-up to my recent video on the most overpowered strategy in Wizard101 PvP. Now, I do have to admit something. I did lie to you guys in the last video. That actually turns out to not be the most overpowered strategy because it's actually more overpowered if you do the same strategy on a different school. Now, there's not going to be any gameplay for this video. If you guys want to see gameplay, feel free to go back to my previous video on that. But I'm going to be going down what is actually the most overpowered strategy and the differences between the other setup that I showed you guys before. So now I'm doing the same scaling from max level, but on a balance. I'll show you guys the gear in a second, but essentially it's the same thing. You are scaling down from max level to level 50, hitting specifically with storm spells only. Now it is extremely cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. It is broken in the sense that the devs know and are aware of it and have announced that there will be a fix at some point, but it's not out yet. So I encourage you guys, while it is not fixed yet, to feel free to spam this strategy as much as you want. Get your warlord badges, get your stuff that you normally wouldn't get before, and yeah, go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the stats, how it looks as a level 50 in comparison to the death setup, which a lot of people was going to say is actually still the best, but I'm going to explain to you why balance is actually better. For this setup, you get 3,326. Obviously, this can vary a little bit depending on your health jewels. I do not have perfect health jewels on everything, obviously. I have 145s, so you can probably get an extra 15 HP max, maybe a little bit more by having max health jewels, but I do not. So it's around here for the HP. Obviously, mana does not matter. 89 storm damage, which is 3 less than my deaths. Still really good. I mean, you're going to be beating everyone at this level anyway for the most part, and mirror matches are not really decided by that few little damage, so 89 is plenty. 31 resist, which is really good. 33 accuracy. You have a 2% base fizzle on a few spells. Berry Surprise, Calypso, and Catalan. Not really that big of a deal. I think I only fizzled like once or twice the entire way when I was pushing up for Warlord. It's really not going to lose you any games. If it does, oh well. I mean, it's the small sacrifice you have to make to have better stats elsewhere. Critical and block obviously do not matter. I get 14 pierce, which is more than the death setup, and it is just really good. Obviously, just the way the stats scale, you have the same amount of pierce at max, but it is more forgiving for balance when scaling down because the pierce cap is higher. So you get 14 storm pierce, 97 pips. Again, probably not going to lose you games if you play correctly. It does suck that you do not have perfect pips, but again, 3% usually not going to lose you a game. Here or there, you might get unlucky and fail pip, but other than that, you have spells like Catalan, and how often you use like 6 and 4 pip spells anyway, or Catalan specifically like 5 pips, and you have other spells that you're going to be using that are off pips that it's going to cancel out. If you fail pip, you can send a Catalan instead of Triton. Probably not going to affect you much. It's just the small sacrifice you make. But where the specific difference is between Dorm and Borm, balance hitting Storm, is with Kraken. Obviously, instead of it being a death blade when you're hitting with Storm on a death, it is actually a universal blade on a balance. And you also have other options. You could run Catch of the Day if you wanted to. And one thing I did pack for a long time was Spell Limited Triton in side deck, of course, super good as well. You get those, I believe they're 35 blades, really good blades to have to counter healing. I took them out because I kind of destroyed every healer I fought, so I didn't really think I need them anymore. But if you're fighting heal spammers, you can use Spell Limited Triton, which is really good, of course. A lot of you guys have questions about my side deck. Because I made that last video, obviously there have been a lot more people doing the strategy in queue, so I upped the amount of Stormbirds and Steel Wards I pack because these are vital in order to win mirrors. And if you lose every mirror you fight because you don't have these TCs, you're probably not going to hit Warlord. So of course these are pretty expensive right now, unfortunately, because the demand for them have gone up. But yeah, you kind of need Stormbirds. That's the only unfortunate part. Other than that, of course, it is Berry Surprise. This does not necessarily need to be max tiered. I have it max tiered because I'm a Wiz lover, I guess. Spell Limited Kraken, same thing with Spell Limited Bats, same as the last one. These, of course, also do not need to be max, but they're easy spell miss to get why would you not have them max? You know, it's been almost 2 years now since these became out, so you should have these max in some form. Stormwing, of course, you also do not need max, but if you have it, it is a huge boost for Stormwing. Actually, you get 110 extra base damage, which is going to translate to probably about 200 to 250 on the actual spell. So I think you should absolutely have use this max tier if you somehow have it already. If you don't, not really a big deal, don't sweat it. Calypso is another one of those spells. I have it max tiered, but if you do not have it max tiered, it's not really a big deal. The basis is the end effect that you're getting there with the damage. Max tier is super nice to have if you do have it, but it is not absolutely a necessity as long as you just have the base spell trained at tier 2. 4 golems, because there's been a lot of fires and they're just nice to have, and just the way I cycled out my set shields, I like to have these as a backup. 3 hidden bubbles so I can fight bubble. Really only time you're going to use this is against ice and deaths. Other than that, you really don't bubble. You just play super fast paced to where you don't need bubble. 5 damage path tritons and a steel pip. I'd put all of the steel pips you have on your account on your character doing this strat. If you do not have steel pip, it is $2 on the website to buy the pack that has it. 1 pack, you can get it, you can cancel after that. You need a steel pip. If you pull it early, it is super good. Even if you pull it late, you can win games off of it. It is vital, and pretty much everyone at this level has it, so I think you'd need it. I have the 2 beetle pet, or the 2 elf pet, sorry, which is of course needed. Do not run the strat with beetle. It sucks with beetle. You have to have elf. 3 elves is better if you have the null dragon. If you don't, not really a big deal. And then your 4 storm wands. So the gear I'm running for the setup is a little bit play to win, because it does have raid gear, unfortunately. Same with my last setup, but you don't necessarily have to have it. Skyfarer hat. If you don't have this, you can open the packs, or you can farm the rematches for this. The robe is the Balanced Nightmare robe. Same thing. If you do not have this, you can farm the gauntlet for this, the Nightmare gauntlet. The boots, Skyfire boots, same thing. If you don't have them, you can farm the rematches. The wand is the only real pay to win item here. In the gear set is the Headmaster Skystaff. You have to have this. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to have this wand. There's no setup you can make with any other wand that's anywhere near as good as this. So yeah, you have to have that. I'm running the 170 Hun Hawa theme for the damage, and I know there's a big difference. A lot of people are going to look at this and say, wow, you lose 5 damage. It only translates to 1 when you scale down. So this is only a loss of 1 damage. And in trade, you get, 73 more HP and 2 more pips. The block, of course, is irrelevant, and the bounce damage is irrelevant, even though it's the same. So this is a great trade-off, because it is actually 2 pip difference, and it's only 1 damage. So this is a very easy trade-off here to run. So I'm running this. If you do not have it, you can obviously run this. Your stats are going to be a little bit different than mine. Not really a big deal. Amulet, have to have this. If you don't have it, you can just queue a match, the win or lose, and you can probably get enough tickets to buy this. It is the PvP mastery for level 140. The ring is the esoteric Aeon ring. Maybe all of this will change when we get the new stuff from the new world, and upgrades and pack stuff. Other than that, this is probably going to be pretty standard across all of it. So that is what I'm running for this. The pet, same pet as before. I'm running D-Lance. You can run Bracify, but as long as you have these 6 talents, you can have them in any order with any jewel socketed. Not really a big deal. The mount I'm running is the Crystal Unicorn for the accuracy boost. And the deck I'm running is the Darkmoor deck. Now, you can run Bazaar decks. There is no problem with that. Bazaar decks are fine. You get 36 sideboard is really good. But obviously, since none of these stats really matter, the health difference is very minimal when you actually scale. It's only about 10. Of course, I took the side deck. Max copies obviously do not matter. I'm not packing more than 7 of anything. So it's really just for the side deck. If you want to run anything else, as long as you can get the deck copied in as close as you can with as much side deck space as possible, that is what I would go for, and that is the setup I'm running. Again, there's no gameplay for this video because it is the same basic strategy. It's just there's a few small differences between this that makes this strategy better. I did go 64-2. I lagged out of 1 match, so I only lost 2 times out of 66 games. 64-2. That puts me around the same place as my death on the leaderboard. I now have 4 and 6 at the 50 leaderboards doing this strategy. So I hope that proves to you guys how truly good this is, and that you guys should try it out. If you need any links for these pets, all of my pets are in the kiosk. So just look for the pet, and feel free to hatch with it. Or if it's not in the kiosk or something, you can feel free to DM me on Discord. My Discord is in the description. I will try to get you guys lens. If you guys have any other things you want to know about the strategy or any help with it, feel free to DM me there. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.